Good day and welcome back to my channel. So this is my first update or the first build video on the Tamiya Gorram F-14A Tomcat. I did do an in-box review of this kit, and some of what I'm going to talk about here is going to speak back to that review. So I may actually put a little bit of notes on that video. So what I'm curious about with this kit, right? So this is a Tamiya kit. Tamiya is notorious for good quality, kind of being good but me, good but not great. So I decided what I wanted to do is figure out if I need to or want to do aftermarket parts for this kit. And when you think about what is your goal, right? What's your victory condition for your model kit? And mine is to do the best job I can and give it as realistic a look as possible that I am capable of, and also to stretch my skill set. So the victory condition, one of the victory conditions I'm giving myself is, all right, let's see if I can not need aftermarket to get a decent effect, to get a decent result. So what are the three? There are three basic aftermarket sets for the F-14. There are the obvious one, the cockpit. There's the wheels, and then there's a bunch of PE for little bits and pieces here. So, wheels first, right? So the wheels are rubber. These are kind of neat. But how are we going to do weight on wheels with rubber? That will be something for another time for me to figure out. So the jury's out on that part. Honestly, I want to figure out how to do it. There's got to be a way. And that'll come in the future. PE for detail parts, I don't think are necessary. Rarely do I find PE to be better than something I can do with cardboard, cardstock, or just paper. So I am going to attempt to look at what those PE parts are and replace them with, if they are even needed. Which brings us to the last piece, which is sort of the big eye magnet, right? Which is the cockpit. Everybody's drawn to the markings of the plane at first, and then your eyes kind of go to the cockpit, right? So the cockpit is like the thing, or it seems to be. I guess a lot of plane folks and people who do this a whole lot more than I do, right, get really interested in a lot of little fiddly detail. But I think, the cockpit sort of is one of the big eye magnets, so you want that to look nice. So my thought is, let's see if I can just do the build without needing that cockpit. Now I'm going to put up a picture here of what the resin replacement looks like. Okay, so that replacement's available. I'm going to try not to do that. Now, we'll see, because so the instrument panels, right, especially here on these flat sides, are water slide transfers. Now you do have, the canopy, you do have some detail in the front instrument panel. So like this guy here, right? So there's one of the front instrument panels, but again, the majority of your detail is a water slide transfer. So how is that going to look? I don't know yet. We're going to find out. But these two front panels look okay. These surface pieces look okay. All right, so I got into this. And I got started, and I decided I'm going to go do the cockpit first. Now, interestingly, the order of this is do the engines, put the back half of the fuselage together, then jump to the radar and the cockpit, or rather part of the cockpit. So you do the tub, drop the tub into the fuselage, right? So you do the nose gear, and then you drop the tub and the nose gear piece into the front part of the fuselage, put the whole thing together, move on to the wings, blah, 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 and then you jump. Then you don't come back to the cockpit later until step 21, 22. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with the instructions a bit. I'm going to do the cockpit first, and then I'm going to do this step first. I'm going to jump to step 21, 22, which is the ejection seats and the rest of sort of the rest. So like these pieces can't go on because I believe they set over top of the fuselage part. So I think there's a badness to their method, but I can do these parts, right? So I can put the instrument panel pieces together so I can see what they're going to look like, and I can kind of dry fit them all together and get a feel. And that will tell me whether or not that's going to give me what I want. So, okay, let's give it a shot, right? I am literally step 1 into this, and I'm already frustrated. So, I'm going to say this here, and I will put this in written, the written description of this as well as in my review. Tamiya is got a reputation for, being a shake and bake, a shake and bake kit. Like you put it together, throw glue in a box, shake it up, and you get a nice kit. My expectation of Tamiya is much higher than what I'm seeing already. So, what do I mean? Remember how I said your instrument panels are these, right? If I look at how the cockpit goes together, the instrument panels are water slide transfers that go on a flat surface, okay? So when you look at what those flat surfaces are, right, and where things go, your instrument panels and the flat surfaces where they go have got these gigundous sink marks or ejector pin marks here, right there, right? So I'm waiting for my my Vallejo putty to set up so I can sand them off. There's another one right there on the forward joystick. They're noticeable if you're going to see them on the pedals. So for the Rio. Now, are you going to see those? Probably not. But here's the thing, right? This piece, you could put your ejector pin marks there, or you could put smaller ones there. Now clearly this was designed so that it would punch out from that side of the sprue. So on an important surface, you've got ejector pin marks. The other thing you've got is you got crappy fitting, and your seams are off. So I'm going to try to make it so you can see this there, right? So look at that. That's a lot of seam work. Now, you sand it off, right? I mean, you can sand that down and make it look nice, which I did. But I have to. Should I have to with this kit? So that got me looking. What does the rest of this kit look like? So here's my sprue. This is my E sprue, which has my doors, my one ground crew guy, right, and other pieces. So this side looks nice. This side, however, are you freaking kidding me? These are your detail pieces inside for your landing gear. This is the inside piece for your door. There's four ejector pin marks on smooth parts of doors. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 ejector pin marks on detail parts of your inner landing gear door. So again, detail parts that are going to be seen. I can sort of buy it with the pedals inside the cockpit, buried inside the cockpit, although I suspect those spots are going to be seen. But I mean, really, landing gear, your landing gear door, these, just looking at the sprue, I have not looked at the rest, and I'm stopping from doing so at the moment because I'm going to try and take this one step at a time. But I'm a little bit frustrated. So, well, okay. Let me rephrase. I did not expect this, right? And I wish I had caught this when I did my review. And that was my bad. So, for those of you who have jumped here because I put the link in my review, there you go. Yeah, there's, go ahead and plan to spend time. So where is it? Here they are, right? So this is the business and your radar. So you got this detail piece, right? And you've got ejector pin marks here, which are going to be slightly rather difficult to get to. You can do it, right? Y'all can do this stuff. But these are really, anyway. So this kit is going to be, while it may fit and it may go together well, to detail this and make this as nice as I was thinking I wanted to make it, I'm going to have a lot more work than I anticipated. Now, with that said, I will accept the challenge and we will see what we can do. I will modify my expectations accordingly. But here we go. So, rant over, and I'm probably going to go ahead and spin this video down here fairly soon. So I'm now going to work on the cockpit. Probably the next time when we come back, I will have given a good look at what I've got in the cockpit to look like, and then decide whether or not to go with this or to try aftermarket. I'm currently of the mind that the victory condition is try to make it without the aftermarket, but I really don't know what the little water slide transfers are going to look like until I get these things on. So we'll see how that goes. And there. So hopefully this was helpful for those of you who are looking at this kit, and depending on what your expectations are. I came into this with different expectations than what I've got, so I have now modified them. But I still would like to make this a good result. I suppose the raised and recessed panel lines on the hull should have, or on the fuselage, should have been a heads up, but we're going to see what we can do. With that said, I hope this was useful, entertaining, or at least humorous in some ways, and I will move on to the next one, and until next time, happy modeling.